Hey, Mark Lambert here with B&B Charcoal. We're standing next to an Ole Hickory Ace JW, and that's their Ace Series John Wheeler. If you don't know who John Wheeler is, he is a world champion cook from the Natural Born Grillers, as well as Ribdiculous, the most recent win at Memphis in May. This is their signature cooker. We used it last weekend at the Shed Rib Rumble. Now, char logs make all the difference in the world. We know that. But we had an extraordinary cook on this cooker at the Rib Rumble using B&B char logs. So this is their 15-pound bag. We loaded this basket completely with 3 starter cubes or tumbleweeds, however you want to put them, in the back, and we lit it at 7 a.m. At 3 p.m., 8 hours, we poured all this out into a receptacle to get rid of our ash, and it was only halfway burned. So in the Ace JW, you can expect 1 hour per pound of cook time at 300 degrees. Isn't that something? And that's set it and forget it. How easy is that? That's cheaper than propane. And it's clean, it's efficient, and super, super easy with B&B char logs. So when we poured them out, we had a little bit of ash residual in there. Again, we poured out over half of the basket unlit while this thing was still going. So we're going to go in here and show you what you need to do when this is done. Is you need to get this out. No matter what cooker it is, that's going to cause rust. We're going to come in here, and the longer that sits, the more rust you're going to accumulate. There's no way you can get away from having some rust, but we want to minimize it. We're going to get this all up. The great thing about this ash vac is you can get it all out of the corners and everywhere. It will greatly extend the life of your cooker by keeping moisture and ash out of your pit. Ash is a lot of phosphorus, a lot of corrosive material, and it's going to cause premature rusting in any kind of pit you have. So you want to get that out because it's going to help trap moisture and really speed up the rusting process. And all we got to do really is clean off our deck and we're done. So 1 hour per pound above 300 degrees, B&B char logs, and the Ole Hickory Ace, match made in competition heaven. We used this last weekend at the Shed Rib Rumble. While we only cooked 6 racks of ribs, I want to show you how we clean this pit to prepare for the next contest. Not to put it up for an extended period of time that'll involve some washing with pressure and degreaser, but you know, we're going to use this pit in another couple of weeks. We cooked 6 racks of ribs. It wasn't that much, but even if you cooked a bunch of butts, the same process no matter what. So normally you're going to go in here with your bucket and you're going to drain what residual grease you have in here, and make sure you lower your nose on this end or lower this side so that your grease drains out. I like to put an extra little nipple on here so that your grease doesn't spiral and sling on the side. So a little 1-inch galvanized nipple to go into your bucket helps a lot. 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 inches is all you need. We don't have any grease in there this time. We just have a little residual, and this pit cooked at 8 hours for about 300 degrees. So really we've just got a little bit of cleanup. A flexible putty knife, little pan is really all you need to get ready for the next contest. The next thing will be just scraping your racks off. So show you what I'm talking about. This inside, that's what that putty knife does. So we've got a lot of just dust there. This stuff is super pulverized because it cooked at 300 degrees for so long with so little fat coming in there. And you just run that knife up through here, scrape it off. Even if you've got some grease in there, you can use a pan like this, or you can get yourself a little sheetrock bucket, and then you've got a good, heavy, sharp edge to scrape all of the excess grease that comes off with the scraping process. So, scrape. That bottom makes it real easy to get it nice and clean. While this isn't sparkling and spotless, it's fine to get us onto the next contest. And if we're going to have a month or so where we're not using this pit, then we'll go in here with the washer and degrease it and get it clean to make sure we don't have a science project when we're ready to cook the next time. And what I mean by that is mold, you guys, mold. You're gonna have mold in a humid environment like where we live in the southeast. All we're gonna do is remove all of this schmutz that's been created from that long, hot cook. Low amount of grease and moisture. That's why there's not a lot in here. Real easy, y'all, to keep this clean. It's a great thing about an Ole Hickory Pit. It's designed to clean up super easy. Look at that. Side walls, nothing much there. Ever so often, you want to run a brush down through both of your stacks to make sure that your pit breathes properly. Gas or charcoal, that pit's got to breathe right, to cook right. But that's about it, y'all. We're going to go in and scrape our racks now and wash those off. You can see we've got a little bit of residual on there. We're going to take a wire brush. We're going to knock that off of there and rinse them off, let them dry in the sun, put it back up, ready to go in a couple of weeks. So keep your pit clean, keep it dry, keep the ashes out of it. You won't have any problems with mold or rust.